Hey, what's up everybody? Man, I'm super excited today. Today we're finally going to get tint on the JT. So it's something that I normally have from day one. Matter of fact, it's been a long time since I've actually had to get a vehicle tinted that wasn't already tinted when I bought it. But I'm actually thankful this time that it wasn't. We're going to learn a little bit of new things, or for me it's new, different types of tint, ceramic tint. We're going to learn a little bit about that today, the differences. And we're going to get some vinyl work done. So that's new for me as well. I've never put vinyl on another vehicle. So I'm super excited to learn about that, but even more excited about the fact that John Scott from Scott Solar Auto Spa has agreed to come on camera and really talk about and educate us on some of these areas. Specifically, we're going to hit on tint, we're going to hit on vinyl and body wraps, and then we're going to talk a little bit about ceramic coating, which I know is a hot topic. I spent a lot of times in the forums, and there's a big debate as to is it worth the money? So it really, at the end of the day, that's up for everybody to determine for themselves, as it's your Jeep and your money. But I just want to know the facts as to what really goes into that. What is it, right? So the first time that I kind of read about it, I had to jump on Google it and try to understand exactly what it is. So thanks for joining us today. Like I said, we're on the way there. I had to stop and get something to drink, but we're going to sit down shortly with John and kind of go through some of the topics I just mentioned. And then we're going to get to work. So thanks again for joining. All right. Hey, everybody. Seth here at JT Mods, sitting down here with John Scott from Scott Solar Auto Spa. He's been kind enough to take the time today to sit down and give us some little education on really the auto spa market. Me personally, I haven't had anything tinted in 4 or 5 years. Every car I bought had tint on it. The tint game's changed, at least since I've had it. So I want to cover some of the things specifically that you guys offer, but first I want to kind of start with your background. Can you kind of just tell us what your background is? You've been in the industry a long time.
Yeah, so it started as a part-time job in 2004 to bridge the income, starting a family, and I always loved working on cars, doing car audio. Never knew how to do window tinting, but the car audio game was evolving so much. A lot of systems were integrated into factory head units. So I wanted to do something other than electronics, and my cousin had owned a window tinting shop in Maryland. So I got on as a part-time installer for free. He said he didn't have enough money to pay me, and you donate your time, that's the tuition. You went learning a skilled trade, and I volunteered. I worked 5 days a week, 20 hours a week, part-time, and it took me about 6 months, and I got a raise from a Whopper meal a day to actual currency. And I never anticipated on starting my own business. I've always had this entrepreneurial drive, and about 3 years into it, 2007, 2008, I hit a point where I fell in love with what I was doing. It was more of a nervous reaction, twitch, reflex than it was a thought process. It was easy. There was no thought required to tint a car, and I could think about stuff all day. I felt free. I just got tired of that 9 to 5 grind, and then it's just started this inception moment where I was like, how can I get out of this box of working 16 hours a day, 7 days a week, waiting for every day to end? And I just had this desire for a better quality of life. And one day I told my wife, I said, hey, what do you think if we moved to a hotter state? Because we were in Maryland. I said, I'm gonna start a window tint business, and we're from Florida. And I said, let's go where it's warm 10 months out of the year. And she's like, how are we gonna do this? I said, I'm gonna talk my full-time job into relocating me. So we moved down here in 2013. I got relocated for free and tinted out of the trunk of my car for 2.5 years and networked with all these car clubs. And I was never the best in the beginning, but I was the hardest worker. And I realized if I just worked hard and worked hard and worked hard, that repetition, like working out, would make you better. Yeah. And I perfected it. The wheel is round. There's nothing else you could do. And it got that easy that I could do it anywhere, in driveways, garages, firehouses, people's front yards. I was tinting windows for 2.5 years, part-time, working a full-time job. And March 16th, I started my shop. And we went from 1,200 square feet year 1 to 2,400 square feet year 2 and 3. And then here we're 10,000 square feet, and we rebranded our name about 6 months ago because we do so much more than window tinting. Window tinting, vehicle wrapping, paint protection film, paint correction, ceramic coating, decals on vehicles. So we wanted something that would encompass all of the trades, and that's why we chose the rebrand. But that's how I got here.
That's awesome. So first of all, you told me the story before, so off camera, that's amazing to me, just the grind, right? This is really just an example of what the opportunity is. It's what you make it. You go work hard, the results come. And so you kind of actually led me to my next question. You kind of covered the things that you guys offer and do, because the word auto spa encompasses a lot of things, not just tint, not just wrap.
Or a clean car.
Exactly, or a clean car, right? That's probably, it's important. That's probably the last thing that you're focused on due to skill set. So, but today we're going to do some vinyl work on the JT. We're going to tint the JT. So we definitely want to talk about some of those things. And then last, we're going to go into one thing you hit on, which is ceramic coating. So it's a hot topic, at least in some of the worlds that I kind of am in. Jeep forums, a lot of discussion around ceramic coating. So we're going to touch that last. But first of all, let's talk about tint.
Awesome.
Again, like I mentioned earlier, I know the traditional tint, right? And so I was talking to you, and I was looking on the internet, and ceramic tint. So can we just talk about the differences there?
So real quick, the evolution of window tint started out with dyed film, which is still relevant in the industry because it's very budget friendly. They have perfected the color stable film. They call it carbon, they call it dyed. There's many different names for the color stable film, but it just doesn't have a high heat rejection. And you had to go darker to get minimal heat rejection. So anywhere from 32 to maybe 40% was your heat rejection range from standard film to limo tint. Now, you know, and then 10, 15, 20 years ago, they had a metallized window film, and the metal had a very high heat rejection, but it got a lot of slack as technology started to blow up. Bluetooth, satellite radio, GPS, cell phone are saying, oh no, the metallized film is going to cause reception, which has later been debunked, and I think it might mess with AM radio now. But as ceramic film came to the front line, the newest technology, it completely just made a bad name for the metallized film. So there's really only three big players in the game. There's colored film, metal film, which is still relevant. They make a color stable metal film, looks like a charcoal film, and ceramic. So ceramic is the newest technology. It's in cookware, it's in coatings, it's in window film because it's an amazing ability to reflect heat, and it's an amazing product. And now they've tweaked the ceramic a little bit more. They've added an IR layer to it, which bumps the numbers up. But that's basically the three technologies that are real relevant now for window tinting.
And so you do all, but would you put a percentage on that and say you're 80% ceramic, or just kind of?
As much as we post really awesome cars and we love the exposure because we want people to know what we're capable of, we got here because of normal people. So I would say 70 to 80% of our business, including my own cars, are normal people's vehicles. And I would say about 70% choose ceramic because I go to the length of explaining it's Texas. It's hot.
Right.
You know, make the initial investment. Don't regret it later. Do it for your kids. Do it for the interior of the vehicle. Do it to keep the vehicle cooler. It's still going to get hot. It's a metal box, but it's going to get cooler faster. It's going to stay cooler. It's much more enjoyable to drive. 70-80% I would say pick ceramic film, even the normal vehicles.
Okay. And then overall, I mean, yes, it's more expensive, but it's not a ton. I mean, it's not a drastic amount for the results that you get.
Correct.
Fair.
I mean, you're looking at $150 versus $300. I mean, it's almost twice the cost, but you're not going to be removing it in 3 years, 4 years, because it failed or changed colors. And you pay $100 for a shop to remove it, and then another $300 to have it tinted correctly if you just make the initial investment in the beginning. And that's what my clients like, is I go the extra mile to explain to them why it's not good to get a $99 tint job, why it's better to make the initial investment of the $150 to $250, $300 range, and what benefits. Some people just want an explanation. They just want to know where their money's going.
Yeah, and that's completely fair.
Yeah.
And last question on that. So the ceramic, is it a lifetime warranty or 10-year? It's a lifetime?
Lifetime.
I mean, that's an easy decision. All right, so moving on. Next topic I really wanted to cover was, I want to cover them together. Vinyl, just custom vinyl work, but then also body wraps.
Awesome.
Right, so you spend a lot of time on Instagram, you see these awesome cars that are completely wrapped. Couple questions there. Number one, what is the general range, right? It depends on the vehicle, I get that, to have a car wrapped for me.
Like, so we only do solid color and we do minimal graphics, racing stripes, hood roof trunk. We don't do anything crazy like these Liberty Walk printed full print wraps. I mean, some of that stuff is show quality only.
Yeah.
You're not going to want to take it out on the street. And the lifespan of a wrap is limited to where you are in the country. You know, if you're in the East Coast, it could last 7 to 10 years. You're Middle America, 5 to 7 years. When you're in Texas, California, Arizona, 3 to 5 years. And that's if the vehicle's outside 24/7, if it's any elements, it's never garage kept, it's never cared for, but washed and dried. You know, so we stick to the solid color wraps. In a price range for a vehicle, it depends. We really like try to help people save money. So if you have a dark color car, a black car, a gray car, it's a good neutral color to wrap any color you want. Because when you open the car, the door jambs are black or gray.
Right.
When you have a red car, a white car, a blue car, and you're wrapping it yellow or something different, unfortunately, you're going to have to go really deep. And we have projects like that where we take the doors off, we wrap the door jambs, the door guts, we completely take the motor assemblies out, the door handles, the mirrors. Wow. But there are a lot of wrappers that are excellent that don't have to do much disassembly, and they don't have to do the door jambs. It just depends on how far you want to go. Is it a daily driver? Is it going to be a show car? You're going to take it to Cars and Coffee once a month, or you just want to look cool driving down the road? You just want to look cool driving down the road, just wrap the outside of the vehicle. Your doors are open less than 1% of the time you own the vehicle.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
You know, but if you're propped up at a car show and your doors are propped open, you want people to see your interior, you're going to have to take the deep dive. You're going to have to go deep to make it look good.
No, that makes sense. There's a wide range. You're talking about a small car, you're talking about a big truck. So, yeah, no, thank you for that. And I guess the secondary question, you kind of touched on the lifespan of it.
Yep.
Should you get something wrapped and your lifespan passes, or you just want to change it up? Let's just say you cover the back of your tailgate.
Okay.
And then you change your mind 2 years from now, you don't want the American flag on there, you want your paint back. What is it? It protects your paint, I'm assuming.
Correct.
What is the process for removing that and then really just bringing it back to factory or paint?
I only can speak for Avery and 3M. Their adhesive is designed to be removed. It's not. Years ago, the adhesive was really aggressive, like a bumper sticker. Every time you take a bumper sticker off a car, it breaks apart little itty bitty pieces, and the glue becomes part of the molecular structure of the paint. It's not like that anymore. Air egress vinyl, the adhesives are made to be removed. Very minimal glue. I would say 10% is left behind on some of the cars. I've done some cars, and every 2-3 years, I've got a friend here right now. You know, your car is an extension of yourself. It is the second largest investment you will make in your life. That's why we love this. We take pride in this. Some people are like, oh, it's just a car. It's an expensive investment. Some people just want to personalize it, and that's why we like doing this stuff. And people change it up, like socks, like shoes, like wheels. You know, one year you want stripes, one year you want graphics, one year you want it all one color. And that's the ability we have versus 10, 20 years ago. You couldn't do that. I mean, rim, stereo, lowering kit.
You're done, right?
And maybe some blackout covers, which are super illegal and super dark. But now you get that personalization, and it's a really good culture. Yeah. And a lot of people look at it as snooty, or he's got a nice car, he spends his money. And there's way worse things to spend money on.
Yes, sir.
And hobbies are hobbies. Hobbies kept me. The car club scene kept me out of trouble when I was younger. Every dollar I had went to my truck, and I loved it, and that's how I met people, and that's why we love it so much. Yeah.
And I love the way you put that. You're right. It's a culture.
It is.
And it's a good culture to be in, right? People support people. I see tons of car activities that are raising money for charities, things like that. There's a lot of good opportunities to spend with good people, meet a lot of good people. So, so last topic, and you know this, it's a little bit of a controversial topic, ceramic coating. So I'll just kind of put a little bit of a base on this.
I'm ready for this one.
I know you are, and that's why I'm excited. So, me personally, having a new Jeep that I'm building out, I follow a lot of people on Instagram, and they've done ceramic coating, and so it made me curious. I didn't know what it was. I went to Google, started researching, and it's about a 50-50 split online of, oh, it's a waste of money. No, it's fantastic. So why not just go to an expert? I'll lead in with that. I've got a couple questions, but just kind of cover the basis of what is ceramic coating?
So we've been in the ceramic coating industry for a year, and I can speak on Ceramic Pros products, and we've probably done 150 cars in a year.
Wow.
Legitimately. Wow. And we took off to the races. And what made us so passionate about it is we went to the class, we went to the training, we got the education done, and there's a lot of companies. To me personally, and this is all my opinion only, it's Coke and Pepsi. It's just the can it comes in, how it's applied, if it's 2 layers, 1 layer. The science behind Ceramic Pro, which is a consumer grade ceramic coating, which cannot get, which is a commercial grade coating, which cannot be obtained by a consumer. You can't go to Detailing Garage and buy this. You can buy ceramic coating, do it yourself stuff. Mm-hmm. And the reason that it doesn't last long is because of the solid content. So in a consumer grade ceramic coating, go Detailing Garage or wherever you buy your supplies, it's made to put on, wipe off. It lasts for a few months. It's basically like a really badass wax. It works good, awesome. but there's not enough solid content to stick to the paint. It washes off. Rain, wash, friction, raindrops, it just comes off the car. And it's not thick enough to do your complete waterless washes. With the ceramic coating, the Ceramic Pro is a 70% solid content, and that solid content is suspended in solvents. So you have to wear a respirator when you apply the stuff.
Wow.
And then for it to really stick to the car, you have to do a 2-step paint correction, or at least a 1-step, where you can get a lot of the contaminants off the paint, acid rain, metals, tree sap buildup. You really want, I call it getting that paint hot, where you really just get everything off of it, where it's really sticky. And then we apply the ceramic coating, and that's what stays on the car, and that's what lasts a long time. Also, there's maintenance to ceramic coating. It's cheap, it's inexpensive, but some people go right to washing their car right away. They don't let it dry long enough. We spend a lot of time teaching people how to take care of their car after they get it coated, so they don't feel like they're imprisoned to this investment and they have to go see a detailer. We want people to do it themselves. So with the amount of solid content, you get the longevity, you have the buildup on the paint, you have a top layer that maintains the hydrophobic effect, and then that top layer needs to be restored once a year. It's a $200 a year maintenance top coat.
Okay.
But it helps you waterless wash your car, spray foam, rinse, blow dry without friction. So there are steps to follow. Sometimes people don't get the steps, or they don't get educated. I'm not going to say they do it wrong. If they're not told the proper way to care for their car, they're going to ruin their coating, and then they're going to be unsatisfied with their coating. Right. So that's where you get the backlash. You get the guys that get a bad coating, they didn't get the right correction done, or they washed their car wrong because they weren't educated. So you get a lot of feedback and back. And then there's really expensive coatings. Some people spend a lot of money, they get oversold, and then they feel like they don't have a takeaway but a clean car. At the end of the day, they spent $3,000 or $4,000, which is not what we charge, but and at the end of the day, they got a clean car, and it's not as easy to clean as they thought it was. They were oversold, so they have a bad taste in their mouth also.
Yeah, no, that makes complete sense. So let me kind of dive in specifically to probably my audience, which is the Jeep community, right? So what would be your perspective on, I probably am 90-10, right? 90% of the time I'm going to work, I'm getting groceries, and 10% of the time I'm taking it out on the trails and I'm having a good time. Paid a lot of money for my Jeep, so I'm taking care of it, but having a good time.
Right.
Do you recommend that for someone that's going to do that? Is it going to add additional protection that you would recommend to say, hey, yeah, it's worth your investment, it's going to help you out?
So ceramic coating is not any stronger than the paint on your vehicle. It's still going to get scratched.
Okay.
Tree brushes hit it. A lot of people are under the impression it adds this extra hardness where your vehicle is invincible. It's not. Right. But with that being said, there's a place for paint protection film, which is a urethane clear film, which we advise people to do when they're impact points to the car, front bumper, headlights, A-pillars, anything that's going to get rocks and stuff thrown at it. And on Jeeps and trucks, we do a lot of rocker panels, we do fender flares for stuff that gets kicked up for the occasional 10% guy that wants to just go out and have a good time. But with the ceramic coating, we're going to do the wheel wells, we're going to do the wheels, sky's the limit. So after you dirty it all up, you can clean it off and it still looks like new. You can still be back to that 90% guy. You don't have a trail dog.
Yes.
And it's ruined for life.
Right.
But if you are going to be the 10% guy, you are going to have to do 100% protection. You are going to have to add clear bra where there's impact points. And then I would ceramic coat the rest of the vehicle so it can stay clean when you're done getting it dirty.
Yeah.
So there is a category for your lifestyle on how you want to customize your protection for your vehicle. If it never saw a trail, you might not ever need to do extensive clear bra. You can get away with just a coating and maybe a bumper wrap. It just depends on how you drive it.
Yeah. No, and that helps a lot because for me personally, the cleanup can be a pain, right? And if it makes my cleanup easier and my paint's going to look better afterwards, for me personally, it's everybody's individual decision. Spend your money how you want to, right?
But if you could wash your car in 10 minutes once a week, would you spend $2,500 to coat your vehicle?
Yes.
If it took you 10 minutes?
Yes, because if not, I wouldn't wash it.
Right. It's 2 hours. If anyone I've ever talked to that's passionate about their vehicles, it takes 2 hours to wash a car.
Yeah, and quite frankly, on the weekends, that's not how I want to spend my time. I hate to say it, but
want to sleep in, want to spend time with the family. It's like, I got to get out there early. I got to get up early before the sun's out. Yeah,
that's it.
It's not fun.
So, last question: if you have ceramic coating done and you have an accident, let's say you get hit in the back quarter panel, or you do get a deep scratch. What is the ability, if you through insurance, right, it goes to a body shop, it gets fixed, is that going to be off from the rest of your car? How does that work?
So Ceramic Pro has a unique system where everything is documented on Carfax. So the insurance company can see that you made this investment, investment gets car coded. It's on Carfax. It's reported to Carfax. And second, we can coat and correct the part of the vehicle that was redone. We don't have to recoat the entire vehicle. So if the quarter panel was messed up or the fender was messed up and they blended it into the door, we could paint correct the fender, the door, coat the fender and the door to keep up with the rest of the vehicle.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Anything else that you would want to add on that topic? I mean, I know we cover a lot of it, and
I'm a big advocate of it just because I've seen it work.
Yeah.
I waited for so many years to jump on board. I didn't want to make sure it was just a fad or a trend. I literally used to give away $10,000 in coatings a month. And I was just like, I don't know. But once I understood the science of it, it made me a believer, and I've seen it work. I've seen these cars come back. I've seen a car washed 30 times already, and the bubbles still have the hydrophobic effect. It's amazing.
Wow.
There's nothing better than this.
Maybe we'll have another video in the future possibly on this. So
awesome.
Well, hey, thanks again today for taking the time to have me in here.
Awesome.
I've been here 30 minutes setting up. You're amazing. Run around from project to project, and we'll be in the garage shortly. You'll see everything he's got going on. Customers coming in, taking care of the customers. I saw one customer, hey, I'm going to be busy today, sending them back in an Uber. Just the customer interaction that I've seen so far is amazing. So if you're local, if you're here in DFW, definitely give John a call, check him out. I know you're going to be doing some exciting things. Where can they find you? So I know you're on Instagram and you've got some exciting things coming, but
pretty universal. Scott Solar Auto Spa on Facebook and Instagram, and hopefully we'll be getting our YouTube channel up in about a month.
So yeah, so awesome. Hey, thanks again.
Hey man, thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Unfortunately, by the time John finished up the other day, it was already dark, so we weren't able to get the final photos there at his shop. However, we got the full 360 video here to show you how it turned out. I love the way that it turned out. It turned out even better than what I expected, honestly. I did not intend to tint the front windshield, at least not with color. I'm glad that I did. I feel like it ties in the rest of the vinyl and the black. So something to consider, maybe if you're considering doing tint, depending on what your color scheme is, what you're going for. Just thought I'd share that. But furthermore, still have a little more to go on the tailgate. There's a few things that I'm working with John on. Possibly might put out another video to kind of show what we do there. Not sure yet. However, I hope that you found this helpful, educational. If you did, please like the video, subscribe to the channel. I've got several more mods on the way, things that I have on order already on the way here. So again, I'm slowly building this and trying to capture the full build process because it's fun. You know, I enjoy it. I hope that you're doing the same. Also, do want to say for anybody that's local here in Dallas, take advantage of the opportunity to have John be able to tint your vehicle, vinyl your vehicle, possibly ceramic coating. He's amazing. So I'm going to leave his contact information in the description level below. So feel free to reach out to him, follow him on social media. Also, last but not least, if you would be interested in watching or learning more about ceramic coating, drop me a comment below. Let us know that you would be interested in us doing another video to really show what that process looks like. And if there's enough interest there, then I think that's something that we would be happy to do. So anyways, thanks again for watching. I really appreciate it. Take it easy.